Old, old, old. Old pirates, yes, they rob I, sold I to the merchant ships. Minutes after they took I from the bottomless pit. But my hand was made strong by the hand of the Almighty. We fought in this generation triumphantly. Now won't you help to sing another song of freedom? 'Cause all I ever had, redemption songs, redemption songs. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. Have no fear for atomic energy, 'cause none of them can stop the time. How long will they kill our prophets while we stand aside and look? Some say it's just a part of it. We've gotta fulfill the book. Now won't you help to sing another song of freedom? 'Cause all I ever had, redemption songs, redemption songs. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. Have no fear for atomic energy, 'cause none of them can stop the time. How long will they kill our prophets while we stand aside and look? Some say it's just a part of it. We've gotta fulfill the book. Now won't you help to sing another song of freedom? 'Cause all I ever had, redemption songs. Old pirates, yes, they rob I, sold I to the merchant ships. Minutes after they took I from the bottomless pit. But my hand was made strong by the hand of the Almighty. We fought in this generation triumphantly. Now won't you help to sing another song of freedom? 'Cause all I ever had, redemption songs. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. Have no fear for atomic energy, 'cause none of them can stop the time. And how long will they kill our prophets while we stand aside and look? Some say it's just a part of it. We've gotta fulfill the book. book. Now won't you help to sing another song of freedom? 'Cause all I ever had, redemption songs. Old pirates, yes, they rob I, sold I to the merchant ships. Minutes after they took I from the bottomless pit, but my hand was made strong by the hand of the Almighty. We fought in this generation triumphantly. Now won't you help to sing another song of freedom? 'Cause all I ever had, redemption songs. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. Have no fear for atomic energy, 'cause none of them can stop the time. And how long will they kill our prophets while we stand aside and look? And some say it's just a part of it, and we've gotta fulfill the book. Now won't you help to sing another song of freedom? 'Cause all I ever had are redemption songs. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. Have no fear for atomic energy, 'cause none of them can stop the time. How long will they kill our prophets while we stand aside and look? Well, some say it's just a part of it. We've gotta fulfill the book. Now won't you help to sing another song of freedom? 'Cause all I ever had, redemption songs. Emancipate yourself from mental old pirates, yes, they rob I, sold I to the merchant ships. Minutes after they took I from the bottomless pit, but my hand was made strong by the hand of the Almighty. We fought in this generation triumphantly. Now won't you help to sing another song of freedom? 'Cause all I ever had, redemption songs. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. Have no fear for atomic energy, 'cause none of them can stop at the time. How long will they kill our prophets while we stand aside and look? Well, some say it's just a part of it, but we've got to fulfill the book. Won't you help to sing another song of freedom? 'Cause all I ever had, redemption songs. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery, 'cause nothing but ourselves can free our minds. Have no fear of girls, 'cause none of them can stop the time. How long will they kill our prophets while we stand aside and look? And some say it's just a part of it, and they all will be sacks of corpses. Won't you help to sing another song of freedom? 'Cause all I ever had are redemption songs. Old pirates, yes, they rob I, sold I to the merchant ships. Minutes after they took I from the bottomless pit, but my hand was made strong by the hand of the Almighty. We fought in this generation. Won't you help to sing another song of freedom? 'Cause all I ever had are redemption songs. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. Have no fear for death, 'cause you are gonna die. How long will they kill our prophets while we stand inside their blood? Some say it's just a part of it. La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. Won't you help to sing another song of jihad? 'Cause all I ever had, Salil Swarim. Old pirates, yes. Old education system, yes. Old people, yes. Old moment, yes, you rabbi, sold I to your cult, sold I to the moment, sold I to yourself. Minutes after they took I from the bottomless pit, but my corpse was bones, and the bones are in your body. Our blood is in our hours. Our heart is in a wind. And won't you help to sing another billion dead white girls? 'Cause all I ever had is mashallah, redemption songs, inshallah. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. Have no fear of atomic energy, 'cause none of them can stop the time. How long will they bomb our prophets while we stand aside and look? That's not an Antifa line. That's like, he's not, I don't know if he preached violence, but he's not, there's nothing to indicate that in this song, you fucking Lord of the Rings fans. These are real people. You can't teach empathy. Do you know how much I accept you? Oh, that's still a red thing to say. You can't teach empathy. Everyone has their own fucking god. You know what will tell you it's the best? Alcohol will tell you that it's the best. Masturbation will tell you it's the best. Thinking will tell you it's the best. Quran will tell you it's the best. Logic will tell you it's the best. The Torah will tell you it's the best. I've never shot heroin, but I assume that heroin... No, crystal meth will tell you it's the best. Maybe heroin also. Feminism will tell you it's the best. Food will tell you it's the best. Food is the food. Everything is food. Old pirates, yes, they rob I. Sold I to the merchant ships. Minutes after they took I from the bottomless darkness. Oh, I thought about things. I thought about things and then I died. I thought about things for 79 years. I thought about things for 91 years. Yes, I thought about the things. I thought about things. Do ba 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 do ba do boo do boo ba do bow ba da ba bo da boo do do ba do ba da boo boo ba do boo do ba do ba do ba do ba do bow boo ba do ba do boom ba do ba bow la ba do ba do ba do boo do boo ba do ba do 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 do. Boom ba doo ba doo ba boo ba doo ba doo ba doo da doo ba doo 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 ba doo ba doo ba doo 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 ba ba doo ba da boo boo le boo doo 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 da ba da ba doo ba doo ba doo ba doo ba doo doo da doo ba doo ba 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 doo ba doo ba doo ba 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 da ba ba doo ba doo ba doo boo boo doo boo 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 doo. So I was thinking that I've had this experience with last night took an L, but tonight I bounced back, with a rabbi. Well, I've seen it with a lama and with a monk, with a rabbi. Oh, and just with some other, Hasidim.
That it can feel disingenuous. I mean, I'm sure any Christian will tell you, any kind of like recovering Christian will tell you that they see a lot of disingenuous shit with the church, but that's not what I'm going to be talking about. I'm talking about these sort of like um, enlightened is maybe a closely related word, but these sort of religious folk that come across as like sort of super people to me, that just like seem like, yeah, super people. I've noticed like one difference across, well, just that I've seen Christians sort of exempt from is that with Jews or with the rabbi and Hasids and the monk and the lama is they do this like this simcha is like this happiness that that feels disingenuous, that feels like it's not actually how a human would ever be, like that there's this sudden expression, like acting, a laugh that doesn't seem real, a smile, like you tell them your name and they're like, oh, like, come on. And the fact that I don't see this from Christians is sort of maybe further evidence that is bullshit. Because you'll meet, people that fear the Lord and, are good brothers that follow Christ. And they're not going to do that kind of shit. Because, and here's the reason why. Christians are Jesus is a person. And that's like, that is, by Jesus being a man, it is a clear indication that there is a difference between you and me. Because there needs to be one. Because otherwise, I mean, that's what Jesus being a man is. It's saying, it's not saying that God is a human being. That's sort of like the cheap way of looking at it. Is it's like, yeah, that's how Jews look at it. They're like, how can God be a person? It's the Holy Trinity. It's the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. So it's not that God is Jesus. It's that there's a Trinity. And what that demonstrates, the purpose of that is, I'm not a Christian, so I couldn't really, say from a Christian standpoint, but from a as far as how Christianity relates to like a sort of like Alan Watts philosophy. Not that he's the one that is responsible for this, but Christianity is not a monoist religion, and Christians would agree with that. I'm not saying that's the one or the most important point of the Trinity in general, but a Christian would not argue with the fact that, I'm me, the guy that works at the store over there is someone else. And this is and Jesus being a man, that is evidence of that. Because as far as Taoism or Buddhism or this is something people don't know, is Hasidic Judaism is concerned. Okay, in Judaism it is different, but there is I got to do a whole separate video on Hasidim because it's fascinating. and it's so different from the other forms of Judaism. But the philosophy is that God is that God is present in the world here, like God is here in the way that he was there in the creation of the world in the Bible. I mean, many believe that the Messiah came already. That Rebbe of it Menachem Mendel Schneerson was the Messiah. Um, that's something that is completely like sacrilegious to. I mean, that's like saying that Jesus was the Messiah. If you're not a Chassid, you hear that and you say, it's like this. Now, how am I going to say that Judaism? I mean, how am I going to say that Judaism is or that Hasidic Judaism is a monoism, whereas Christianity was proved as not being one by Jesus being the Messiah, and they say that Menachem Mendel Schneerson was the Messiah. Well, first of all, the Messiah means different things if you're a Christian or if you're a Jew. I mean, because Judaism stops before, I mean, way before the Revelation. The Old Testament stops in the past. So the idea of there being a Messiah that comes and, I mean, all I know is the book of Revelation. I don't actually know other things about the Christian ideas of Messiah. But I know that in Judaism, Messiah means that it's something that will come when the world is like ready for it. It's like the world will already be in a certain place, and then the Messiah comes, and it's like the same thing. That's at least what I was taught. I need to actually educate myself on that. But the idea, the presence of God as existing here is much more similar to like a concept of the Tao than it is to a concept of like the Christian idea of God, in my opinion. I mean, that's what I've heard just from like learning orally from Hasidim. I haven't actually read the Tanya or the Zohar or studied. So, where was I going with this? Oh, monoism. Oh, okay. So right. So my point was that, or rather, what I was thinking was that perhaps this. Well, no. I'm not saying this as an assertion. I'm saying that like they're this pleasure when you meet someone. It's an idea of maybe I've already made my point. Yeah, I just forgot what I was talking about. Yeah, so they're The concept of how you relate to others is, I don't know. It is definitely influenced by that idea. If you're seeing another person as another person, or if you're seeing another person as yourself. I mean, I understand why so many people see Christianity as the perfect religion, because you do see another person as separate from you, and in that way you're able to, I think, depending on the society you live in, serve them better than, and serve is sort of a key word there, because then if you're looking at it from a more monoist perspective, then you it depends on your community. I feel like, you know um, I'm just trying to eliminate my bias here, because I'm inclined, like, to see Christian communities as not working, but I'm extremely biased in that regard. You know, but I don't. I mean, I know I speak about religion as having some sort of supernatural quality to it. I don't believe in that. I mean, I see religion as a mechanism for allowing people to relate with themselves and with God and with the world within a, you know, I mean, yeah, I'm an anarcho-primitivist, so I see it as how they're able to exist in this, in an agricultural society, um, where we have these sort of like extreme existential emotions and need for stability and structure, because that was taken away from us when we lost our land. Um, you know, who needs religion if you are able to have your family and peace and abundance, and security forever? I mean, that's why God exists, is because people need God. I mean, God exists. It's not even that people need it. It's God actually exists as a function of uh, people not being hunter-gatherers. Um, so I feel hesitant to, I don't know, say more. Um, um, but I'd like to see things change. I've talked about this before. I'd like to see a change happen. Everyone wants some sort of change to happen, but I appreciate the positivity of anarcho-primitivism. I appreciate its sort of like existence. I mean, whereas things like intersectional feminism, critique, and then they say what, like, nothing. I don't know. I mean, that's not even a philosophy. It's just, I think it's this more or less the same viewpoint as someone that totally disagrees with them. Like, just more competition, I guess. Uh, I don't know. It's just, they're just in the news. They're just not in the real world. Um, so we'll see. Why do I sing Bob Marley so much? I don't know. Um, Uh, and also, I don't want to discredit the beauty of these people that are, you know, perhaps, you know, deeply religious but socially awkward. So they do this smile thing, you know. They do this happiness thing. Okay, yeah, you see this shit with Mormons for sure, but with them it's slightly different. Mormons are some of the most amazing people I've met in my life. Ex-Mormons usually, but um, beautiful, beautiful people. I mean, Christ does tremendous things for people. Absolutely tremendous. You know, some people it's Christ, some people it's God. And not to make, you know, any false equivalences here. Like there's definitely differences. Um, this is like Jordan Peterson. Like you just keep saying that there are differences between things, and then people think you're really smart. I mean, he's brilliant, but like it's a lot of you know, talking is a skill that doesn't really have much to do with intelligence, you know. There are different kinds of intelligence. Suck my fucking dick. There's different types of intelligence. Dumb fuck. Yo, oh no, this needs to be its own video because I want people to. No, okay, we'll make it its own video too. I'll repeat myself. I like when people do that on YouTube. Fucking. It's. Will I have the energy to talk about this twice though? I'm so. I'm triggered by this. It's gone on for too long that women will not all women. Okay, sorry. There are women who will speak about men and the way that they look at and treat women and their reaction to homosexuality and homosexuality between men exclusively. I mean, okay, this is such a waste of fucking time. Basically, my on a um men and women experience sexuality extremely differently. In most ways, men and women are the same, but in some ways they're totally different. And men will biologically like be extremely visual. Okay, not all men, generally speaking, are extremely visual. And will make compromises on, you know, a woman's behavior because of the way that they look. Which you could look at it as a way of saying, okay, so this is them being open to, you know, different behaviors of women. It's never seen in that way. It's seen as like, oh, how dare you date that fucking bitch just because she's hot. Whereas on the other side, you know, women are very attracted to behavior usually and will make compromises on a man's physical appearance if he behaves a certain way. I mean, to an extent, and to an extent with guys too. Like, you know, but then women are they just run with this like sort of moral superiority of like how come you can't control your sexuality? Why are your society makes you grossed out by two men having sex? Like I can, I'm not grossed out by lesbians, and I will date, I don't care that much, like your size doesn't matter that much, and you're like, and it's like this great thing about like, oh, I don't see men as objects. I see them as, human beings, and it's like, okay, but your horniness works in that way. Like that is biologically how you, like, that's not a choice you're making to be more moral. Like that's literally what your vagina wants. That's not coming from a place of you being a good person. That's just how you're wired. You're just as you're and it's also not as strong. I mean, women are not, women don't get erect. Like you can get like something like blue balls as a woman, but it's not the same as being like a guy. And that's how our bodies work. So it's like you're not being a better person because of how your vagina functions. You know what I mean? Like you're literally responding to your vagina and the amount that it's talking to you as much as a man is responding to how much a penis is talking to him. You know? Women are not, like fighting extreme sexual urges to be more moral towards other people. That's not true. I'm sure there are some women out there who are very visual and who will, go out of their way to treat people with extra respect and kind of, repress their sexuality to, go by being moral as opposed to what they're attracted to, which I don't, you know, yes, the world is big enough that I'm sure that exists, but I'm just saying this is not like a common scenario, and that is the only scenario in which anything that they're saying about this would be valid, as a statement of morality. So, and just in general, I think it's pretty like, it's pretty unfortunate how there's this huge gap, you know, and it goes both ways, because men won't behave in ways that women are attracted to, and will think that their appearance is sort of like, they'll think that women think about men in the way that men think about women, which isn't true. Like there's a lot of, and this is what the pickup artists will sort of tell you. It's like, it doesn't really matter how you look. I guess there's enough media saying that side, but it's yeah, so it's mostly the other one. It's just like saying that, like, I'm sure that it sounds so awful to be told like how men function and what they're attracted to, but it's the truth, and it's like, it's nothing that men should ever be ashamed of. And I just, I don't know. Now I'm kind of going off from what I was originally trying to say. I really don't like where this went. Kind of do that sometimes. I'll like make my point, and then I'll just feel like I have to say more shit. Like right now. But yeah, I see that a lot. and I think a lot of that comes from how we're supposed to believe now that there are no differences between men and women, um, and that really sucks because now like people are just holding each other to the wrong standards, and it's like you can have equal standards, but you have to adjust for different, the differences, you know? It's like there's a reason we have, like female sports, for example. I don't know. You have to adjust for these differences. Um, but I'd love to have dialogue with women who can better explain how their sexuality functions and the role that it plays in their life. I think that there's a lack of that information out there. Um, but I can say as a man that I'm extremely visual and do have also attractions to behavior that can at times outweigh the visual part. Um, but it's definitely weighed more, and in those cases, it outweighs it. Um, but yeah, generally speaking, it's very, visually driven. Um, and I've just observed with women that it's the opposite, that it's, you know, focuses mostly on behavior. And then at times, yeah, there'll be an exception where the choice will be made based on something visual instead. It's also kind of an odd thing because, like, we can, both of these things are both, biological and learned, or not learned, but like, people are born, or like, people naturally behave certain ways and can change that, and also naturally look certain ways and can change that. Like, why there's this idea of like superficiality when it comes to appearance, and you know I don't know. We're just I feel like, yeah, this is getting super off topic. I was just trying to sing the Redemption song. um but we kind of uh worship like a navy submarine. No, like a big, like a pirate ship is a warship. um do pirates have wars? They have battles. um we won the battle. I mean, yeah, we won the battle, but no, we lost the war. What is this saying? We won the battle, but we lost the war? That's not a good saying. When would you ever say that? I don't like that at all. Do you ever say you lost the battle, but you won the war? That sounds more like what a saying would say. No, we won the battle, but we lost the war. What does that mean? Anyways, I mean, obviously, what it means is okay. We worship our thoughts and behaviors and bullshit. And what am I saying? Ah. Oh, No, I was gonna say that we're like obsessed with making the world smaller. That we're kind of like taking what a mind could be and infusing it with this sort of like rat brain like constrictor that I'm sure makes it much smaller than the brain of a rat, where you kind of like see a man and you go, "Oh, that's creepy. Oh, that's power. Oh." And like your whole life is limited to like there's this system of patriarchy and dominance, and it's like, it's like an unarguable thing. It's like but uh, but but because it's true, doesn't like I wish I had a good analogy of this. It's like if you were a chess player, and chess, for people that don't know, chess is like, it's a whole universe, the game of chess. Like there's like, the amount of different chess games there are is like, some astronomical mathematical figure, like way more, I mean, it's an utterly, like vast, vast game. And approaching it, with this, and to draw an analogy to like what I was just talking about, is like if someone was like, the board is square. They go into chess and they're just saying the board is square. The person's like, yes, but like this is how the pieces work and this is the game, and they're like, no, 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 the board is square. I know I'm really bad at analogies, but it's just like, um, they're not wrong for saying that the board is square. You're not wrong for saying that there's, you know, uh, I don't know. And it doesn't matter if you're right or you're wrong or what your theory is. It's like you're just going down. It's like people. The thing is, like, anti-feminists are even dumber than feminists, because it's like if someone was saying the board is square and your response is to say, well, look, they're like slightly rounded at the edges here. It's like, no, 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 just forget about all that shit and just like, let's just talk about what's actually, at hand. That surprise, there's more actually. Most things in the universe have nothing to do with activism, like, or politics. That's a surprising thing for people. For you people. The vast majority of the universe has absolutely nothing to do with patriarchy. And that's just such an unfortunate god to have, because it actually just makes you feel bad. I mean, with masturbation, you at least get to come. This, you don't even come. You just feel bad all the time. I mean, it serves that sort of like, you get to get out your anger. I mean, yeah, it's like any other addiction. It's just like, I guess it's better than alcohol in some ways. You don't get hungover from feminism. Um, and I always never want to talk about it, because it's like, it's already nothing to begin with, so it's like, I'd rather actually talk about nothing than talk about, nothing with a lowercase n. Anyways, it's been great, guys. I really appreciate all of you coming out to listen to these little mini shows. Be doing some more soon. Hopefully, getting some guests on, and yeah, just continuing to expand and do well. We did lose a subscriber recently, so You know, it's always something you can always do if you don't want to be subscribed. You don't have to. Um, I enjoy, I am looking to build this channel. I think that it's has something to provide. And it's currently about half the size of my Twitter, which is an all right ratio. I'd actually like it to be bigger, but I mean bigger than my Twitter. But I'm in no rush. Um, Shouts out to Long Beach Griffey on hitting 120K. Crazy. He just did 60K like a week ago, so it's incredible numbers. Really, really good looks for that guy. Um, Good content. Also, head over to Long Beach Griffey at Long Beach Griffey, no underscore on YouTube. Sorry, and no at because it's YouTube. What am I saying? And subscribe to him. He's doing some really great stuff. I did a kind of parody of one of his videos once, or an homage. Um, and I put his name in the title. And yeah, keep on being yourself. There's no more perfect version of you than you, and don't be don't 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 coerce people to do things. Don't listen to me when I tell you to do stuff, and don't tell other people to do stuff. Or don't you dare. Fascist anti-coercion. Um, Fascismo. Yeah, I'll do a full gender video at some point. I might start recording my meditations, though. It might be interesting. I actually don't think that I'm going to do that. Maybe, if you guys want to see a meditation video, just like me meditating for 20 minutes, like, let me know. Links, as always, are in the description down below. Thanks so much, guys. Really appreciate it. Also, shouts out to Barb. I love how when people sub to him on Twitch, he thanks them like 5 times usually. So thank you so much. Really appreciate that, man. Thank you. Thanks, man. Thanks for the sub. Then I'll wait a few seconds. Really appreciate that, man. Like, talk about something in the game. Thank you so much. It's really cool. He seems like a really, really cool guy. If any of you guys know how to get your imagination, like images that you picture in your mind, like visualized, let me know. Like, I mean that there's some way to tap into your brain so that it'll show up on a computer screen. Because like, God, man, if I had one wish. Honestly, though, what would that actually do? What would that provide for me? All that would happen would be people would kind of look at it and go, oh. I never actually thought about that. Oh, my dream is that it would be real, not just an image of it. You guys ever forget what your dreams are? Yeah, if you guys could 3D print this shit, now that would be fun. Yeah, because if they could see it, they'd be in the same situation as me. Except they could share, like, and subscribe. I don't actually know if that would be a good thing if you could, like, physically manifest the contents of your imagination. It would be so different. Wow, who's into imagining stuff? All the time, baby. I'll be bulletproof. Who likes to think about comedy theory and philosophy, baby? I'll be bulletproof. I used to think that song was saying something in French, like voulez-vous. Because its name was so La Rue. Basic. Um, and also, who's like so into the, who has this like genuine kind of like, oh yeah, I'm really interested in that. Oh, I like that, Why? Sorry. Sorry. I mean, what? Like, really? Like, that's cool. Yes? Whatever works. Who's a Woody Allen fan? Did you guys know that I fell asleep when I was watching Sleeper for the first time? No one believed me when I told them that story. I guess it's the kind of joke I would make, but it's true. Me and my friend watched Sleeper and I just fell asleep. Everybody is a little animal. I think I might start not eating animal. I really have no reason to. But when I do, I won't say that I'm vegan. I just won't eat any animal products. And if people ask me why, I'll just say, I don't know. Like, I just won't say. Like, I won't give a reason. I'll just be like, I don't have a reason for not doing something. And then if someone's like, here, just eat this meat, I'll be like, I would eat it. I wouldn't care. But I would never. The only time I'll eat meat, the only time I'll eat an animal product is when someone says that I have to do it. No, no, I wouldn't do it. But I wouldn't do it, but I would just like, how would I get out of that though? I would just say, I would just say no thank you, I guess. Like, I wouldn't say like, no, I'll never do that. Like, I'll just be like, oh no, I'm good. Like, I don't eat meat. And they'll be like, oh, why? I'll just be like, oh, I just don't. They'll be like, here, just eat a little bit. I'll be like, no, 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 I'm good. But not like, not. I guess I wouldn't be like grossed out by it. I wouldn't be offended by it. I wouldn't have an emotional reaction. I would just tell them that I wasn't interested in like a genuinely not big deal way. That would be hot. Um, when I used to get pimples as like a preteen, that obviously would like make me really uncomfortable and self-conscious and aware and like, I hated it. Um, Always hated it so much. But now when I get pimples, I'm like, oh hell yeah, I get to fucking pop pimples. Like I just wish I had them all over my body. just, it's like an exciting thing I get to do that day. So yeah, read Dianetics, vote Libertarian. Power to the people. Go subscribe to uh, Louis Farrakhan. I don't think he has a YouTube channel, but whoever posts his videos on YouTube, follow him. Support the Nation of Islam monetarily. Go follow Dr. Umar. Black Lives Matter. And don't give birth.